Hello there. My name is Rick. This is my wife, Tan. We've been on the X39 patch now for a couple of months. I work as a dentist, long hours, and very exhausted at the end of my days, but now I have more energy even after the work day is over, and everything's been great, and we're very thankful.
The body feeling free of discomfort and want to move. And my granddaughter is what we wanted to share because it's like a miracle watching her. And of course we patch ourselves, but we watch her and we become believer because she was challenged with her brain, nonverbal, and we patched her. Normally every day she would have the self-injury behaviors, hitting her face. For the 5 days we patched her, there was no hitting her face. She's looking at us with direct eye contact, and she's smiling. She's vocal, like she's vocal and smiling, and so she's like emotionally stable and happy. And that's something we just never seen before. We look at each other and like, oh my goodness, she seems so normal. And so we are very, very thankful.
My name's Summer Lange, and I'm in College Station, Texas. My story is about my daughter. So she was born with a rare genetic disorder that we didn't know she had. She had brain swelling, which put her in a coma for 4 days. She struggles with ADHD. Like, her short-term memory is pretty awful. It feels like she just checks out a lot of times. She's not engaged in conversation. She doesn't, I don't know how else to explain it, but like, you just wish she was more with us a lot of times. I started patching her on May 1st. Within the first few days, like, she was asking us questions that she doesn't normally ask. And I looked at my husband and I said, do you notice what I'm noticing? And he was like, yeah. On day 6, we went to therapy. She's in occupational therapy. And they came out of the session and her therapist was like, she had a great day. And I don't normally get that. It's normally like a good day. And she was like, no, she had a really great day. She said her processing speed was faster. She was more responsive. Her memory recall was better. And I was like, okay. And so I ended up telling the therapist, here's what we're doing. And she's like, well, I need to know about this because I see a huge difference. So she sees it. I mean, there's no denying when your therapist sees the difference.
My name is
too.
Ellie Clemens. I'm from Richmond, Texas. Thank you so much, Brittany, for asking me to do this. Because I'm so incredibly excited about what's happened for me. So about 12 years ago, I was diagnosed with high blood pressure, stroke level blood pressure. And they gave me blood pressure medicine. It was great. 6 years later, one pill wasn't doing it. So they had to give me another blood pressure medicine. In 2020, I was diagnosed as a diabetic. February 2024, I started wearing this technology. A couple good friends of mine told me about this technology. I started wearing it, and here's what's happened since. So in March of 2024, just a month later, I went to see my doctor, and my A1C had dropped to 6.1, and my blood pressure was so low, she had to take me off of one of my blood pressure medicines. Then in June of 2024, I stopped taking Ozempic, Nexium, and a cholesterol medicine. 2024, I started feeling great, sleeping better, no more snoring, hair growth. My hair is so full now and healthy. And in June of 2024, I went from 5 meds to 1. She literally took them all off my chart, which was so exciting. I went to see her in March of this year, and she was so excited. I'm only taking that one blood pressure medicine. My A1C is at goal. She was afraid I might gain weight because I was off the Ozempic, but I hadn't. So she was really excited about that. And in May of 2025, I saw her again, and she literally took the 4 meds off of my chart, and I'm now considered pre-diabetic, not diabetic. And I just can't even begin to tell you other things, but I want to say one thing about my wrist. I had tendonitis in my wrist for almost 10 years, and I had to wear braces. and pain. I couldn't even carry a pot. I mean, pot of water, I had to support it with my other hand. I used to get shots, everything. I haven't had a shot since November of 2023, and my wrist is fully healed and I have full strength in it now. And so I am so grateful for everything that this technology has done for me. And
so my name is Josh Wilcox, and I'm from Jonesboro, Arkansas. And in 2008 with the Marines in Iraq, I had an incident where I broke my neck and back and had a traumatic brain injury. So that led to a lot of complications, and other things with the burn pits there led to even more. So for the next 17 years, I got to experience migraines on a daily basis. And then I re-broke my neck and back and had another traumatic brain injury in 2021. So that just made things even worse. So anyway, Joe calls me up in late June and says, dude, I love you. You got to get on these patches. It's going to help you. And I was like, man, I trust you. So, all right, let's go. So I ordered them. I got them in on July 10th. 4 days later, I was able to go play golf with my dad and my son. And they had been begging me to, and I couldn't do it. So anyway, after that, then I started noticing other changes. July 22nd, I had a massive migraine to where I couldn't walk, couldn't do anything but throw up, and it was just terrible. Well, I hadn't had another one until last week. And so when you're used to having them every single day for 16, 17 years, and you don't have one from July 22nd until late October, and the only reason I had one was because of the burning fields here in Jonesboro, and they just threw me into one. So anyway, that's impressive. But not only that, you start talking about my neuropathy I had, my sleep apnea I had, my GERD I had, and then being diagnosed with stage 2 kidney disease, and then it got to stage 3. Went back for blood work, and guess what? My kidneys are normal. So all of my stuff that I've had has gone away. And then PTSD, when I'm on that, I've had that. And all my medication from the VA now, I've let go. I slowly got off some of it. I was a little scared to get off the PTSD meds for a little bit, but now I'm completely off every bit of my medication from the VA. When I say life-changing, I'm not saying something that's cliche. I'm not just trying to be cool by saying that. No, I mean it. My wife got her husband back. My kids got their daddy back. And I got my life back. And I mean it.
Hi, my name is Valerie Woodard. I'm from Auburndale, Florida. 15 years ago, I was diagnosed with a disease that destroys the myelin sheath and protects the nerve fibers in my brain and spinal cord, which basically makes my brain short circuit. Over the last 15 years, my symptoms had continued to get worse. I've had difficulties with my memory, balance, and walking. The symptoms had progressed to the point where I could barely lift my left knee. I had lost the ability to move any of my toes on the left side. Due to the decreased balance and the weakness of my left leg and foot, I was forced to sit down and use my hands just to pick my leg up to put them in my shorts or my pants. I had lost the life that I had before my diagnosis, and my future was certain to get worse. However, in July of 2022, my life had changed once again. That is when I was introduced to the X39 patches. Within 3 weeks, I began to notice a change. The patches began to facilitate the process of allowing my body to reverse the symptoms that I had been suffering with for over the past 15 years. I now have complete use of my entire left leg and can wiggle all of my toes. My balance also has improved greatly, and I haven't fallen in over a year. I now can do the things that I haven't been able to do, such as ride my bike, and I can jump rope. I am so thankful for the X39 patches and for what they have allowed my body to do.
So I'll start with my husband's story. A couple years or right after he got his vaccine, my husband was actually diagnosed with a heart aneurysm. And his ejection fraction went from the strength of his heart went from a 70 to a 43 in less than a year. Now, mind you, he's been in the military for almost 20 years at this point. He was a super healthy guy, worked out very often, never had any issues with his body whatsoever. And so the rapid decline in his health was very alarming. He was having migraines, body aches. Y'all, I would walk into the room with my husband on the floor in the fetal position, unable to move. And so we had to actually call then called 911 multiple times just to see what was going on. And ultimately, the doctors had no answers. They did every test they could. They did everything they could and couldn't come up with an answer. And here's what they told us. Here are more pills for you to take. Don't lift anything more than 20 pounds. Prepare for open heart surgery in the future. And oh, by the way, you're no longer fit for duty. And they made him retire from the military. And so because of all of this, our entire life changed. And y'all was sitting in the bed like, what is going on? I believe that there was going to be an answer, that there was going to be healing. I just had no idea how it was going to happen. And my friend, Carrie, called me up and she said, Keisha, y'all need to try these patches. I had no idea what the patches were. I was super skeptical, but she said a couple things that really made me feel at ease with just giving it a try. I mean, we tried all the medications the doctors threw at us, but she said a couple things to just make us give it a try. And the first thing she said, Keisha, I've been dealing with plantar fasciitis for over a year. And in 3 days, all that discomfort was gone. And when I heard that, I heard hope. I was like, oh man, like there's hope possibly for my husband. And then what she said next really made us jump in. And she said, Keisha, there's no medicine, no chemicals, no anything going into his body. It is literally turning his body on to work for itself. And y'all, that part to me, the fact that his body already had what it needed, it just needed a little boost. And that's what the patch came in and did. I am forever grateful for that phone call, forever grateful we said yes to give it a try, because within the first couple of days of wearing it, now mind you, my husband's been going through all kind of health stuff. I saw his smile leave. I saw his energy for his family leave. I saw him spend most of his days in the bed. He did not play with our children. But a couple days into wearing this patch, y'all, I saw my husband smile again. He cracked a joke. And I'm like, okay, I'm not going to say nothing. I'm just going to watch from the sidelines. And then a couple weeks in, he went outside and he actually played football and threw catch with my sons. And that might sound small to some people, but to somebody who has been watching their husband literally sit on the sidelines of life and to have him be energetic again, it meant the world. And so we saw that. And then to come to find out after he's gone through the doctor's tests and all these kind of things, y'all, his heart looks healthy again. Open heart surgery's off the table. The migraines that he was having that kept him in the bed are gone. Those body aches that left him sitting on the floor, y'all, are gone. I have my husband back. My kids have their dad back. They have their coach back. I have my friend back. We have an impact in the community back. What the devil tried to steal from us through his health has turned around for our good, because if we had never been in the situation we were in and as desperate as we were, we may not have given the patches a try, but we did. And my God, has it been amazing and a miracle for us to see. And that's just my husband. I mean, not to mention my hormones are balanced out. I'm not snapping at people no more. My son tore his labrum and was supposed to be out of basketball season the entire year. Y'all, he was back in 3 weeks. And so the fact that we said yes to give something a try, it has impacted future generations. I mean, literally future generations. So I'm forever thankful. If you listening to this, you have nothing to lose whatsoever, and just give it time. The only way you don't notice a result is if you quit. So choose not to quit. So thanks, Carrie.